thank you again. We really appreciate the time.
Pleasure.
You were saying you think your 29th year here?
I believe so.
Obviously, a lot has changed over that time period. What would you say for ESPN is the biggest difference between, say, today and 15 or 20 years ago?
John, I would say the biggest difference is it's not just television anymore. 15 or 20 years ago, we were literally talking about networks and products that literally only aired on television. Today, with the advent of mobile communications, the growth in tablets, we're looking at distributing our products in a wide range of devices so fans can enjoy them. And that's certainly a major theme here at this year's show. And I would say that's probably the biggest change I've seen over those years.
In new platforms, you're doing a great job. Are you comfortable with how that process is going right now?
I'm really comfortable with it. It really goes to the mission of the company, which is to serve sports fans, anywhere, anytime. So when a new device is created or a new distribution platform comes along, we don't waste any time thinking about should we or shouldn't we. We just get to work on how should we do it and how quickly can we put our products on those platforms. That's really what drives our company. We like to be first to market with as many products as we can and to serve fans. So really it's kind of business as usual for us.
This isn't necessarily an ESPN question, but how do the sports leagues feel about this jump? Do they feel like they're getting left out of the mix? Digital rights, hey, did we sign that contract? How does that work?
Well, I think it's a learning process for everybody involved in the sports business, and that's what and all the businesses that you have raised. Everybody understands that the technology is moving so quickly. You want to understand as best you can how to serve fans going forward. In sports in particular, the vast majority of it, 98%, is consumed live. So if you're a sports fan and you want to see something and you may not be home, you're looking to whatever device you may have, a smartphone, a tablet, etc., or your computer, so that you can enjoy the event. So the natural evolution to putting sports programming on all these devices is a very natural one for all of us in the sports business.
And again, this isn't necessarily an ESPN specific question, but so some TV contracts that exist with sports leagues, that might be good enough to translate to a new platform, and in other cases there might need to be some kind of renegotiation, or as you say, it's kind of a learning process?
Yes, you can't really answer that question with one broad brush. All the contracts are different. ESPN's been acquiring the necessary rights for over a decade to be able to utilize our products widely. So we feel we're in very good position to have the necessary rights to serve fans on mobile devices such as phones and tablets.
When Wall Street gets the Disney earnings reports and hears about these skyrocketing ad revenue numbers from ESPN, it feels like they are constantly wowed. Even bullish analysts are wowed. Do you ever get wowed by those double-digit percentage numbers, especially when the economy is still weak?
Well, we're very proud of the company that we built over 32 years. We take a lot of pride in what we do, and our company's performing quite well now. You could argue it's performing as high as it's ever have in its history on a lot of, in a lot of measures. So yeah, I'm very excited about it, and we're very proud of the results that we continue to produce.
And when the results are strong, obviously that gives you, or there's more at your disposal, at the very least, to bid for sporting rights. This is another big picture question. I think the layman, even Wall Street, sometimes sees these big contracts, 10 years and who knows how many $1 billion for the rights to whatever. What don't we know about that big price tag? Because people will say, oh, that's bigger than the last one or bigger than the last one, but we don't know your business. I mean, what's behind that big price tag that drives that big price tag?
Well, in many cases, to the question that you just asked me a moment ago, you're acquiring more rights than just beyond distributing a game on television, but into wireless devices and tablets and those sorts of things. So the rights are expanding. The value of sports product continues to rise because the popularity of it continues to grow. And there's a lot of complex issues behind those negotiations. Again, the various rights that are required, the length of the term, of course the money is a big issue. So they're complicated deals that often take months to negotiate.
I know with the Olympic rights specifically, you've already fielded a lot of questions on this. I think one of the takeaways from people is it seemed like there were some big gaps between the bids. Can you help us fill in the blanks on that, on why it seems like there was so many different views on what the value of the Olympics?
Well, one of the gaps, of course, was you had different parties bidding on 4 Olympics versus 2. So when you equalize that out, we were very satisfied with the process. We presented a very disciplined bid. I would have been very happy to acquire the Olympics at the fee structure that we had suggested. I know the Walt Disney Company would have been great for the Olympic movement, to help grow the Olympic movement and bring younger fans back to the Olympics. We would have done a very good job there. But I wouldn't have wanted to pay any more than we had already bid. We knew what its value was to us, so in that regard, I'm not disappointed in the least and very satisfied with the whole process.
And we know you call the shots. I mean, ESPN is, in many ways, an independent company within a bigger company. But in that process, for example, is there a point when Bob Iger will say, George, don't go above this level, or no, it's George, take it away?
No, at a price tag at the level we were talking about with the Olympics, Bob is involved, accompanied us obviously, and led our delegation over to Switzerland. He has a vast amount of experience in the sports business, so I rely heavily on Bob's guidance in these big sports negotiations.
Just a final Olympics sort of related question. Do you have any thoughts on Dick Ebersol, what his next move will be?
You know, I really don't. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens when he lands.
Gotcha. I wanted to talk very quickly about regional sports programming, because we're talking about bidding rights, and there are a lot of great examples right now of people, fierce battles, if you will, for some of those regional sports channels and the rights in various markets. Is that a market that ESPN would like to be more involved in? Do you feel like you're already in the regional, or how should we think about that?
Well, ESPN is in the regional sports business in the regard that a number of the college contracts that we have in particular, we syndicate product. We sell product to the regional sports networks and directly to the distributors in some cases. So in that sense, we're in the business. In the sense you're talking about it, where we would own regional sports networks, if there was a good opportunity, obviously we would take a look at it. But really, I like to keep our focus on the national sports business, not only in the U.S., but outside the U.S. as well.
We talked a little bit about your impressive technology platform, and we talked about Bob Iger. And, of course, Steve Jobs is the largest shareholder in Disney. Do you ever get to pick his brain? Do you guys talk? Does he ever say, I really think what you guys are doing is really cool?
We have a great relationship with Apple for a variety of reasons, and Steve and his people are extremely supportive of what we're doing. The Watch ESPN app that launched in the iTunes store is a great example of that. We were first to put up an app like that. We've had 2 million downloads since it launched in April. We're featuring it here at the cable show. We really think it's a great example of taking the product out to where the consumers are, and that's done hand in hand with the Apple company. So there's a great example of working with them to our mutual benefit.
Just 2 more questions. A follow-up to that one. That app has had this incredible success. I mean, your problem probably is that you have all these apps that are all having a lot of success. I heard one of your digital media execs a while back saying, at a certain point, how many apps do we want to have? Do you think about that too, or is there a point when there are too many apps? Or
we very definitely think about that. We want to be focused with the amount of products we have in the market, and I think you'll see a bit of a shakeout there. I think you'll see a little bit of a less is more strategy going forward. You want to have the utmost in quality. As a proud member of the Disney company, we stand behind putting quality products in the field, so we're focused on quality and quantity. So I think it'll take a little time for that to shake out, the answer to that, but I think you'll see less is more over time.
Final question. I'm getting all my updates on the NFL situation from your networks. What does it mean financially to you guys if they don't start playing?
Well, needless to say, Monday Night Football is our #1 sports property, and we're very hopeful and optimistic that the season will be played and started on time this year. We've seen some optimism coming out of the news reports for the last couple of days, so we'll hope that that the differences get resolved and they'll get back to playing on the field shortly.
I mean, is there a number that you guys have on a piece of paper if this doesn't happen? Or
we're working with our advertisers now so that if there was a stoppage, for example, we'd have other outlets, mainly college football, to accommodate our advertisers this fall. But I'm hoping we don't have to utilize that, and beyond that, I think it'd be too speculative, really. We're optimistic they'll resolve their issues.
George, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.